March 15th is Consumer Rights Day in China. Every day on this year, media outlets like CCTV expose counterfeit and substandard products. This year's blacklist of food products is shocking once again. Many food companies use questionable techniques to harm consumers, putting public health at risk. The investigation also reveals how some unscrupulous businesses ignore ethics just to make more money. One major reason why these harmful foods keep appearing is weak government regulation. Let's take a look at some of the food items exposed in this year's Consumer Rights Day report. 1. Water-retaining shrimp. This year's Consumer Rights Day investigation exposed seafood processing plants that illegally use excessive amounts of water-retaining agents, mainly phosphate compounds. These additives help shrimp retain moisture, improve texture, and extend shelf life. However, excessive use is not only illegal, but can also pose health risks, including calcium-phosphorus imbalances and cardiovascular diseases. Tests found that phosphate levels in some shrimp samples exceeded national safety limits by 145%. On top of that, some businesses use ice coating techniques to artificially increase weight. A news program revealed serious food safety issues at a Xiaolongkan hot pot restaurant in Hanchuan. The report found that the restaurant recycled ingredients like seaweed, milk, and duck blood from customers' tables and resold them. In the kitchen, employees were seen using the same cleaning bucket to wash mops, teapots, soup ladles, and strainers. Expired seasoning powders were also used to make broth. The store manager responded by saying he was very disappointed and promised serious action would be taken. This scandal doesn't just expose problems at one restaurant, it highlights a broader issue in the restaurant industry: poor management and weak regulation. Besides Xiaolongkan, another hot pot restaurant was exposed for false advertising. Shifu New Hot Pot has gained popularity in recent years by offering low prices, attracting a large number of consumers. One of the main selling points is its claims that the broth is made from fresh beef leg bones, creating an image of high quality and healthy dining. However, an investigation revealed that some of its locations do not actually use freshly simmered beef bone broth. Instead, they rely on cheap seasoning packets that contain artificial flavor enhancers and additives. These ingredients make the broth taste similar, but lack the nutritional value and authenticity of real bone broth. This practice is highly misleading and deceives consumers. 3. Lemon tea. Refurbished, a well-known beverage chain, is facing another controversy. This year's Consumer Rights Day report exposed serious food safety violations. Undercover reporters discovered that a store in Yichang, Hubei, was using leftover lemon and orange slices from the previous day to make its signature drinks. Video footage shows employees casually tossing wilted, discolored lemon and orange slices into teacups. This stands in stark contrast to the company's claim that its drinks are made with carefully selected fresh fruit. According to company policy, sliced fruits should not be used for more than 6 hours. The store's hygiene considerations were also alarming. Flies were seen swarming around, and one bug was even found floating inside a cup lid. When asked about the issue, the store manager dismissed concerns, saying it's an open kitchen, so bugs are normal. A staff member even admitted that cup lids were sometimes washed and reused. The public was outraged by the report. If even a well-known brand like Refurbished has such problems, what else can consumers trust? For the company, this incident has severely damaged its reputation. Refurbished has over 64,000 stores worldwide, with more than 4,000 locations outside of China. On March 3rd, it was listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Yet, just days after going public, it was hit with a major scandal. What makes the situation even more ironic is that before its IPO, the company had publicly emphasized its commitment to using the freshest ingredients and providing high-quality products to consumers. A store of the milk tea chain, Hushang Ayi, located in Hankou City Plaza, was found to be using expired ingredients. Reports revealed that the store used expired grapefruit pulp to make its popular mango pomelo sago drink. Nearly half of the store's toppings were past their expiration date. What was even more shocking was the employees' reaction. Instead of fixing the issue, they laughed it off. To continue using the expired ingredients, they simply reprinted the expiration date labels, claiming it was a cost-saving measure. 5. Fake fatty beef rolls. Fatty beef rolls are a popular hot pot ingredient. However, this year's Consumer Rights Day investigation uncovered a shocking truth. Some businesses have been replacing real beef with cheaper non-beef ingredients to cut costs and maximize profits. Instead of pure beef, some of these so-called fatty beef rolls contain pork or beef aorta, animal trimmings, and even duck blood. These ingredients are processed and shaped to resemble real beef rolls. This practice is not only deceptive, but also poses health and safety risks, as the sources of these ingredients, their processing methods, and additives used are often poorly regulated. Many budget-friendly all-you-can-eat hot pot restaurants offer unlimited fatty beef rolls, but consumers should be cautious. If the price seems too good to be true, the product might not be real beef. When buying fatty beef rolls, always check the ingredients list and avoid unknown or extremely cheap brands. 6. Prepackaged foods. This year's Consumer Rights Day report highlighted food safety issues in the prepackaged food industry, with a special focus on a dish called braised pork with preserved vegetables. Investigators found that several companies were using low-quality pork neck instead of traditional pork belly. Pork neck meat is considered inferior because it contains a large amount of lymph nodes, fatty tumors, and thyroid tissue. Not only is this meat lower in quality, but it can also carry bacteria and toxins. Regular consumption of such meat could pose serious health risks, including immune system disorders and other health complications. 7. Yang's braised chicken rice. The investigation also exposed major hygiene issues at Yang's Braised chicken rice franchise. Undercover reporters discovered that kitchen staff were collecting leftover mushrooms and chicken from customers' plates and reselling them. Spoiled meat was treated with chemicals to make it look fresh, and in the most shocking practice, used soup from customers' bowls was poured back into the cooking pot to be reused. Online users reacted with outrage, with some saying, "No wonder why I always get an upset stomach after eating there."
告诉大家一个几乎所有的外卖小哥都知道的秘密。
Let me tell you a secret that almost every food delivery driver knows. Remember this. Of all the takeout options, the one you should never order is braised chicken rice. Even if someone gave it to me for free, I wouldn't dare to eat it. The meat they use is frozen for who knows how long. I've run a restaurant before, so I'll explain why. All the chicken leg meat used in braised chicken rice costs just 6.5 yuan per kilogram. It's imported frozen meat from Brazil. Frozen pork ribs, 7.5 yuan per kilogram. Frozen braised pork, 6 yuan per kilogram. If the meat starts to smell, what do? Add more spice. For fried rice, stir-fried noodles, or rice noodles, the wok is never washed. Corn and mung beans, they come pre-packaged and pre-made. In the summer, takeout orders get a few drops of preservatives. Even snail rice noodles are enhanced with extra stink boosters. Out of 100 restaurants, 98 operate like this.
The founder of Yang's Braised chicken rice once said, "There can be no dishonesty in food safety." However, this scandal has completely contradicted his statement. Even before Consumer Rights Day, Yang's Braised chicken rice was already under scrutiny. The problem isn't just about food quality, it's about the entire franchise system. The report also found that some franchise employees lacked the required health certifications, and franchise approvals required with such loose oversight, it's hard to believe this chain has managed to expand to thousands of locations nationwide. Fake duck blood was another major issue highlighted in this year's report. Duck blood is a popular ingredient in hot pot because of its smooth texture that becomes even softer when cooked. However, the investigation revealed that as much as 80% of the duck blood sold in the market isn't real duck blood at all. Instead, many products are made from pig blood, and some unregulated workshops even use harmful chemicals like formaldehyde to preserve it. Even more concerning, some fake duck blood products contain no animal blood at all. Instead, they're made from industrial ingredients like gelatin, starch, and food coloring. These products don't break apart when boiled and have a rubbery texture. Not only do they lack nutritional value, but they also contain unknown additives that could pose serious health risks. 9. Cheap sausages. Sausages are a popular snack in China, often paired with instant noodles, barbecue, or picnic meals. However, they have frequently been exposed in past consumer rights reports for serious food safety issues. The investigation once again revealed alarming problems, exposing how cheap street-sold sausages contain bone paste. Bone paste is made by grinding animal bones into a fine mixture, typically used in pet food rather than for human consumption. It is extremely cheap and may contain heavy metals like lead and cadmium, as well as veterinary drug residues. Its long-term consumption can harm liver and kidney function. Manufacturers use bone paste to cut costs while keeping prices low, deceiving consumers into thinking they're buying real meat products. Even more disturbing, some sellers openly admitted, bone paste isn't meant for humans, but when mixed with starch, no one can taste the difference. The added starch and seasonings mask any unusual taste, making it impossible for consumers to detect. China has faced some of the world's worst food safety scandals. From gutter oil to borax-laced meat, Sudan red eggs, to melamine-tainted milk powder, each year's Consumer Rights Day exposes shocking frauds in the industry. Yet despite repeated crackdowns, these issues persist. What's needed is consistent, high-pressure regulation to prevent such practices year-round, not just some exposure during an annual media event. Some online users voiced their frustration. Every year, March 15 exposes so many problems, yet in the end, all these products somehow pass national inspections. How does that make sense? Let's be honest, most food products on the market don't even meet national standards, and those standards are already low. Why not go after the root of the problem? These manufacturers should be charged with crimes against public health. Instead, they keep producing while the government just tells us not to eat them. What's left that's actually safe to eat in China? Beyond food safety scandals, this year's Consumer Rights Day investigation also exposed shocking fraud in the hygiene products industry. Some well-known brands of sanitary pads and baby diapers were found to be refurbished and sold. Consumer complaints led investigators to Liangshan Xixi Paper Products Company Limited in Jining, Shandong. The company was caught selling massive amounts of low-quality sanitary pads and baby diapers that had been refurbished from defective products. Undercover footage showed the factory in filthy conditions, with hundreds of tons of discarded sanitary pads and diapers scattered on the ground. These were originally defective items that large manufacturers had intended to destroy. Instead, the company bought them for as little as 260 yuan per ton, about $36, repackaged them, and sold them as new products. A company executive openly admitted that he bribed employees at major brands to secretly obtain these defective products. After sorting and repackaging, the company resold them at 7,000 to 8,000 yuan per ton, making an enormous profit. The so-called processing took place on a simple table inside a warehouse, with workers handling everything by hand without any disinfection measures. The hygiene risks are unimaginable. Authorities have since shut down the factory, and the person in charge has been detained by police. This scandal affects several well-known brands. Shortly after the investigation was made public, many angry consumers flooded the social media accounts and live streams of the exposed brands. Comments like, "You're all part of the same corrupt industry," "Shameless merchants," and "You were named in the March 15th Consumer Rights Day report" appeared in droves. One user described how, after Freepoint sanitary pads were exposed, a large number of viewers rushed into its live stream on March 15th. Some demanded refunds in the comment section, while the host continued the broadcast as if nothing had happened. A few minutes later, the live stream was abruptly shut down. Other brands like Manxi, Haozhi, and Sophie also suspended their official live streams. Disposable underwear products have also come under scrutiny. In Xiangqiu, Henan, several garment factories were found to be producing disposable underwear under unsanitary conditions and mislabeling materials. Although marketed as cotton, many of these products are actually made from polyester. A news team conducted an undercover investigation at Mengyang Garment Company Limited, a disposable underwear manufacturer. The factory was dirty and disorganized, with a strong chemical smell coming from the products. Workers were seen assembling the underwear by hand, without following national hygiene standards. One of the company's biggest false claims was its sterilization process. Despite advertising that the products were disinfected with ethylene oxide, this was entirely fabricated. A factory worker admitted that proper sterilization costs money, so they simply printed it on the packaging without actually treating the products. A disturbing discovery was made in the production process. Workers were using a spray gun to apply a special liquid onto the underwear. This liquid, known as gun water, is a powerful quick-dry cleaning agent with a strong odor. It's unsafe for direct contact, yet after spraying, the products were immediately packaged and sold without further processing. Even visibly dirty products were not discarded. A separate investigation into Jianzhi Medical Equipment Company Limited revealed similar issues. One staff member admitted that to cut costs, some products skipped sterilization entirely, and their so-called quality test reports were completely fabricated. At Yishengning Medical Technology Company Limited, another employee proudly shared that their Oshilan disposable underwear brand sells extremely well, producing tens of millions of units annually. Yet almost none of these products undergo proper sterilization. An education expert named Mr. Zhang shared his thoughts, emphasizing the urgent need for stricter regulations and to protect consumers.
聊一聊315啊，年年打假，为何假货依旧猖獗？
Let's talk about 315. Every year, there's an anti-counterfeit campaign, yet fake goods remain rampant. Last night, the 2025 315 Gala once again revealed the dark secrets of the consumer market. From refurbished sanitary pads to payday loan traps, from water-injected shrimp to lethal electrical wires, every case was shocking. But behind this annual anti-counterfeit event, what's exposed is not just the unscrupulousness of companies, but also the systemic issues of regulatory loopholes and institutional weakness. Regulators are like criminals playing whack-a-mole. They let you deceive and cheat as long as no one dies. Then, when 315 comes, they suddenly become messengers of justice, grabbing their hammers overnight to knock down the moles that pop up. Netizens joke that there's one day of anti-counterfeiting on 315 and 364 days of protecting counterfeits. It's crude but not wrong. CCTV's 315 Gala has been running for 34 years. What I want to ask is, do they have to wait until March to reveal all the footage from a year of undercover investigations? Why does it have to be like students cramming last minute before exams? Why can't they uncover issues and act on them as soon as they're found? These companies harm consumers every extra day they're allowed to operate. Merchants are quick to adapt, and they already understand the game. They slow down before the new year, lie low in March, and return to business as usual in April. This campaign-style law enforcement only scratches the surface and doesn't solve the root of the problem. They keep telling consumers to keep their eyes wide open, but ordinary citizens need to be more expert than quality inspectors themselves. I buy a pack of shrimp and I have to self-teach chemistry tests. I pick a pair of underwear and I have to understand sterilization standards. When issues arise, the complaint hotlines are unreachable and the reporting inboxes are useless. To fix this, regulators need to electrify the red lines. Businesses that break the law shouldn't just face light penalties. They should be fined into bankruptcy. Regulatory failures shouldn't be brushed off with an apology letter. Someone needs to be held accountable. We need to remove their positions and stop making the public act as human detection devices. Every part of the process that should be held accountable must be in place. Only then can we end this endless annual anti-counterfeit spectacle.
315打假连续剧，你那个剧情能不能换一换了？
The March 15 anti-counterfeit series, can you change the plot? It's always the same. The unscrupulous merchants are exposed, outraged consumers protest, relevant departments pay high attention, and then nothing happens. I'm numb to it. The problem is still there year after year. Isn't the purpose of exposing these issues supposed to be uprooting them? Is it just a show? After watching this year's CCTV March 15th program, we at China Observer have realized that the food safety issues we exposed were ahead of CCTV by many years. So hit subscribe for the most up-to-date information.